12th sellout of the year at the Toyota Center. New building here in downtown Houston. Great start for the Lakers. 7 of 11 from the field as they lead Houston 17-11 halfway through this first quarter.
And Kobe Bryant has been part of 6 of the 7 baskets. Only 1 basket made, but 5 assists for Kobe. Often criticized for taking himself out of the offense.
Shaq blocks Yao as O'Neal held his ground defensively.
That move's not going to get it done against a focused Shaquille O'Neal, that's for sure. Yao's got to try to get a little bit closer to the basket, set up a little bit closer.
Shaq initiates the contact, and the foul is called on Yao for the hold of O'Neal's arm.
Very, very tough to play back to the basket unless you're going to go quick against Shaq. Once you turn like that after getting engulfed, and a great screen by Kobe Bryant.
And look at the power.
If Yao Ming had held his ground and played with his sternum defensively instead of his hands, he probably could have got an offensive foul called against Shaq.
Now Shaq returns the favor for Kobe, but the Rockets play that better. 3 to shoot, nothing going on. Knocked out of the hands of Medvedenko. The Lakers will just have 2 to squeeze off a shot.
The Lakers, with their great, brilliant start, have taken the crowd out. The crowd was so hungry and so ready. Now they're just sitting back, stunned. What's happened to them? Their beloved Rockets.
Will have to be Medvedenko over Yao. Hit the back of the rim, and Mobley gets the rebound.
Well, they've made a defensive switch here. Now Yao Ming's trying to get Medvedenko in the deep post.
Got him. Francis brought Gary Payton right to Yao.
I'm curious. The All-Star break.
Look at Shaq with power. As much energy and focus as we've seen from O'Neal all year. He's 4 of 5 from the field. 8 points in 8 minutes.
And you see him playing defense. You see him moving without the ball. You see him sliding, preparing himself on the defensive end.
So the top scoring 6th man in the league, Mo Taylor, goes at O'Neal, who fouls him.
Easy play to call by Dick Bavette. A lot of pressure on these referees tonight.
He came through and he just clobbered Mo Taylor. But you see here, Shaq, this is determined. These are the type of moves his teammates love to see. I mean, you can feel the wind.
Cook, the rookie out of Illinois, comes in.
The best shot blockers rarely lead the league in block shots because they don't get the opportunities or the attempts. People are afraid of them.
Theo Ratliff, Ben Wallace at the top of that list again this year. No Shaq, middle free. Kobe takes it to the goal. Lakers lead by 1.
Kobe Bryant is a wonderful basketball player. I mean, that move was so quick. The help defense has not a chance to get over there. And everybody in the building knows that he's going to the bucket.
Foul on Brian Cook, his first. Sean, this is a situation now where Kobe was feeding Shaq. You could sense the energy, and it's what we've seen from the Lakers since the break. They're working so well together. Now that O'Neal's on the bench with 2, you could sense right away a different level of Kobe's focus.
But can I tell you, Kobe Bryant sets the table for this ball club offensively and defensively, and without his effort, this team wouldn't be nearly as good. Example last night in Atlanta.
Mo Taylor, who scored 10 points in the loss to Seattle in the last game, knocks that one down.
The Lakers should be able to beat Atlanta with their retired players.
Kobe in the lane gets it to drop.
He was working on that lefty shot 2 hours before the game.
Well, when he injured the right finger and missed the 7 or 8 games, he did so much with the left hand that he's added it more to his arsenal in the last couple of weeks. In the lane, pushing the back, called on Cook, who's picked up 2 quick fouls.
Yeah, but it's something to practice the shot and then pull it off come game time. Guys practice all types of shots, then they're afraid to pull the trigger. Come game time, there's Kobe Bryant coming through with an extraordinary move.
If you take a look at Kobe Bryant, he's facing Cuttino Mobley. Cuttino Mobley basically had his way back here on February 11th. It was the Lakers' last game before the All-Star break. It was Kobe's first game back after he had sliced his finger. Well, in that game, Cuttino Mobley had 21 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. Kobe had just 14 points. Tonight, Kobe says it's a bit of a personal challenge to him. He was given a tape by Phil Jackson just after the All-Star break when they had their meeting. Phil told him, I want you to look at this tape and examine it. Phil's most interested in Kobe's defense that night. He said since that time, Kobe's defense has improved tremendously. He wanted him to be better, and he has stepped it up, and that all points of his game since that meeting and since the All-Star break have been superb. Mike?
And the point total is a 40, 35, 35 stretch. Jim, we just had a double foul after the miss on Slava Medvedenko and Maurice Taylor. And actually, I think that Slava was the least guilty of the two.
That was as bad a call against Slava Medvedenko as you'll ever see. That was almost
As you'll ever see.
You saw the numbers, the split. Kobe playing very well. Gary Payton.
Both teams playing very well. Lakers shooting 69% from the floor. Houston in the high 50s themselves. And there's only one turnover in the entire game.
And Kobe,
That's a surprise.
Kobe got the assist on that one, too, guys. He has 6 assists. That shot rimmed out and comes right to the hands of Bryant. He joins Cook, Medvedenko, Fox, and Payton as the 5 on the floor for L.A. The feed to Medvedenko give Kobe a 7th assist. Here in the eyes to recover to Jackson. Hard to leave a veteran like Jim Jackson free for long.
That makes that power forward position so vulnerable for Los Angeles when you have to come and double team. Phil Jackson has never been one who wants to have to come with the gimmick defense.
Luke left free, and he knocks down that jumper. Averaging 2.5 points a game, 10 minutes per game. 50th game of this rookie NBA season for Luke.
How could he have dropped so far in the draft when he was such a complete ball player? Led the Pac-10 1 year in assists. With his type of size, he just understands the game.
But he didn't have a good senior season.
I don't care. I mean, you're drafting kids that are in high school and unproven. And this kid can flat out play, not because you're here, by the way.
Beautiful pass from Taylor to the longtime Clipper, Eric Piatkowski, still in the Clipper record book as their all-time leading three-point shooter, but purgatory after 9 years with the Clippers as he's arrived in Houston this year.
Back in the rotation, Eric Piatkowski.
Kobe on the cut, little running hook over Yao, who comes away with the board.
Great outlet. Yao Ming's really getting into a nice defensive rebounding rhythm.
Francis directing traffic. He clears space. Center to Yao.
That's what's so mind-boggling, is that somebody just can flash in, call for
The Rockets and Yao Ming defeated L.A. for the second time this year. Remember, Christmas night on ABC in L.A. It was a Houston victory.
There's that offensive glass.
And Shaq is held by Mark Jackson, who just playfully hangs on and painfully walks on.
Neither of the two games have been close between these two teams this year. The Rockets have trounced them, but there have been extenuating circumstances for Los Angeles in each game. The first time on Christmas Day was just a couple days after Karl Malone went down. Right. And then the second time was when Kobe was not a factor, and it was the end of a brutally long road trip for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right at the end of the All-Star break, and with the All-Star game and the Grammys, the Lakers have played a huge string on the road, but it will pay off on the back end as L.A. has a lot of home games through the end of March and April.
The Lakers schedule down the stretch about as easy as it gets from any of the competitive teams.
O'Neal with the miss. He's now 4 of 7 from the field. Yao has pulled down 6 defensive rebounds.
So what you're telling me, Bill, is you'd like to see these guys go head-to-head in a playoff series.
Absolutely.
No other variables involved.
Mark Jackson deals another assist to Yao, and the Rockets have their biggest lead of the night at 10 here at the 5-minute mark.
Again, take Shaquille O'Neal out of his comfort zone on the defensive end. Drag him outside the paint area. You get him caught in his world, he has a huge advantage.
Medvedenko has missed. Foul from behind on Shaq. Certainly don't want Shaq committing his 3rd foul. 55 feet from the basket.
Phil Jackson has to go deep into the bench. So Brian Cook is playing with 3 fouls of his own. Yao Ming right now continues the offensive demolition of the Los Angeles Lakers.
And Sean, the point you talked about, when you have Yao Ming in the game, you don't want Shaq committing 2 of his 3 fouls on small guys.
No, you don't. But you should burn him on. You should burn him on Yao Ming. Well, you can't get these ticky-tack ones.
But Shaq is really not in this position ever in the NBA anymore. In the early days, against Ewing, Elijah Wan, David Robinson, was a different story. But since Shaq got so big and so strong, and since Phil Jackson came, literally everybody else just runs and hides in his mere presence.
Exactly. But, you know, those two guys you're talking about, Patrick and David, had the ability to step outside and shoot the ball. What are you going to do? You're going to wrestle the shark in the water, or are you going to bring him out on land? You got to take him where he doesn't have an advantage.
Right at Brian Cook, who's got no shot in there against Yale.
Last night to Atlanta. Well, Phil Jackson was not happy after that loss last night. In fact, let's take a look at his quote. What he said to the media after the game was, "Look, guys, we were not ready to play this game. I take that as a responsibility of mine." Spoke to Phil about it before tonight's game. He said, "I'm not just taking one for the team. We were lethargic. They were lethargic at shoot around, and I didn't get them to snap out of it. I tried to do it before the game. I should have taken a timeout early, and I didn't. I trusted my instinct, and my instinct was wrong in this case. Last night's loss was my fault." Not too happy tonight either, guys.
Nope, off the ball here, Jim. A foul on Kareem Rush.
So how many free throws did Phil Jackson miss?
Well, you know, Phil Jackson's coached 1,126 games, including tonight in the NBA, just regular season games. And Phil has that usual temperament of letting the guys play it out, letting them work it out in terms of issues that come up during the season. Joe, do you find Phil's approach, as Yao takes it inside on Cook, and just controlling inside, do you find his approach as drastically different, thus successful, only because he is a strong personality?
I like Phil Jackson's approach the best. I played for one who's very similar to that, is John Wood at UCLA. Also, Casey Jones for the Boston Celtics.
I believe this league is changing where you can't leave that responsibility to the players anymore. There was a
Depends on
time
what kind of
where
players you have.
Yeah, it depends on your personnel.
He's got the team where he can because of the veterans. Francis left free, had a lot of time to load up and knock down three, and the Rockets lead again by 12.
I think it all comes back, Sean, to self-motivation. And that's what a coach can teach a player over the course of the long term. But this is a player's league.
And that's why I believe that Kobe Bryant is essential for this team, because he brings so much energy every night. He's a guy, like we had Avery Johnson, for example, never, ever took a night off, and that picked everybody up.
And Francis knocks down back-to-back.
Atlanta beat the Lakers last night. Oh my goodness. Greg, why is LeBron doing that?
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Yeah, he did. He only
That's
played
wrong.
28 minutes. Brown had 24 points. I'm going to go ahead and skip to the chase. Cleveland lost by 30. They've lost by 30 by like a whole lot this year. I mean, this was just not even right. Cleveland, fifth loss by 30 plus. Elsewhere, Bucks beat the Magic. Damon Jones had 17 assists, tied an NBA season high. Red, Mason, and Van Horn all scored at least 20. Elsewhere, Wizards beat the Raptors. Raptors, again, ninth time they scored 70 or less.
The Raptors might as well play in college. They get 70 like every night they play.
Hornets
Tonight, one of the many games available on ESPN HD as basketball really kicks in and takes over here in March. And our march through the playoffs, the regular season ends 6 weeks from tonight here in the NBA. Let's look at the Nike first half stats. Key numbers are the Rockets on top 53-43. Second quarter, the Lakers become a victim of Houston's best card, field goal percentage defense, and the Rockets have shared the ball well. 16 assists tonight with Jim Gray and Sean Elliott, Bill Walton, Mike Tirico. Well, this is Yao, Shaq 5, and the first time they met, Shaquille O'Neal was dominated by Yao for 2 minutes. Yao controlled the rest of the game. Early on here tonight, it looked like Shaq was going to control the whole night, Sean.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to just blow his way right through Yao Ming early on, with a little assistance, of course, from the smaller teammates. Kobe Bryant doing a nice job getting Shaq involved. Then you see Shaq, tremendous defense, able to block Yao Ming there. Yao was tired early on, but then fouls took their toll. Yao Ming started to assert himself, got himself involved in this ball game, and there was not a lot that Shaquille O'Neal could do about it, particularly when you have a guy like Mark Jackson setting up Yao Ming on the perimeter. That's one thing that gives the big men problems, other big men that can step outside.
A statistical analysis of the first two meetings between these two giants. 59 minutes head-to-head, and surprisingly, Yao Ming has the edge. Points, field goal percentage, and rebounds. Shaq a little bit in blocks, but tonight, it has still maintained this staggering pace, and the thing that impresses me the most is that Yao Ming is not afraid.
He throws a bullet pass to Cuttino Mobley, who comes back after landing hard on his tailbone at the end of the first half and missed the shot. And here come the Lakers back the other way. With the 5 who started the game, Fox, Peyton, Bryant, Medvedenko, and O'Neal. And here's Slava inside. Yao picks up the foul. That will be his. Check in with Jim Gray, who's got an update on Cuttino Mobley.
All right, Mike, they took a look at him at halftime. Keith Jones, the trainer of the Rockets. What it is, it's a severely bruised left side of his buttocks. Keith said, I rubbed it. I know that doesn't sound right, but I did.
You rubbed it,
Badly
Jim?
bruised. He said, I did everything to get this man back out on the court except for kiss it. There he is right now. Through the help of Keith Jones.
That's
Mike?
That's more than I want to know.
Cuttino trying to get loose and stretch here before the second half started. Very nice. Like Keith Jones is serving Jim like the writers with Billy Crystal at the Oscars here. He's giving him all the good material, and Jim is delivering. There is the athletic trainer for the Rockets who does so much with this team as well. The 2 free throws make it an 8-point game. So now each big man has 3. Yao 3 fouls, Shaq 3 fouls. Yao the hook over O'Neal off the glass.
That needs an asterisk next to it. I mean, he's calling glass on that bank shot.
It goes
on that
in.
jump hook, I don't think so.
That's all that counts.
Yao has hit 6 of his last 7 shots. Meantime, Ryan, who has 8, but also 8 assists, dumped it down to Shaq. It's the way the game started with O'Neal.
When he catches the ball that deep in the paint area, you're forced to look at his underarms. He's just putting it down. He's going right through you.
I think it's time for head-to-head action. Just come right back with Yao Ming. Send the other guys to the weak side.
Francis keeps the dribble alive. 3rd time, the lob for Cato. 3 times tonight they've connected on that same play.
Where are the adjustments by the Lakers? Why don't the Rockets use that play every time?
The Lakers are a poor rotating team.
Particularly on pick-and-roll defense.
Ryan a triple, rims out, Cato the rebound. Cato coming off an 11-point, 11 rebound game.
And Shaq really can't go to the offensive glass here. Nice hands by Yao Ming.
Off the feed from Mobley. And the lead is 12, 2 minutes in.
Again, at the end of a long road trip, 4th game in 5 nights for the Lakers.
Kobe catches and takes it up over.
Well, I would like to see him play like this every single night.
Jim Jackson a 3 extends the Houston lead to 13.
And I think that's one of the hardest things for centers in today's game, guys who don't really grow up in the structured basketball environment, where if the big guys don't have a head-to-head matchup that's worth a darn, they just stand there and do nothing. Offensive foul
On Kobe Bryant, his 2nd.
But so many of the big guys think that, well, if I don't have to guard Shaq, if I don't have to guard an Akeem or a David or Tim Duncan, then I don't have to do anything. I'll just take the night off. And that is not the case. That's when you have to be even better.
Let me correct myself first there on Kobe. Talking about Patrick Ewing there on the bench. It's funny, it's the league right now has more 7-footers than ever, but fewer pure centers than ever.
All the 7-footers want to step out on the perimeter and shoot jumpers.
Yao steps out and knocks down one of his own. He has 23 points on 11 of 15. He's hit his last 7 shots.
This is a tough matchup for Shaquille O'Neal, I'll tell you. And when you have a guy who can just turn around and shoot right over the top of you, just with no regard, Shaq hasn't had that happen to him in a long, long time.
Fouled on the pass by Kelvin Cato.
Well, it was interesting, too, to see Shaquille O'Neal's comments in the paper. Shaq is a very proud man.
No one steps up to stop Kelvin Cato. Easy 2 points. And again, in the second half, Steve Francis, again, same play. No help defense again whatsoever. Medvedenko is caught having to step up and
With the little guys, but draws the foul.
And Steve Francis looking at referee Mark Wunderlich saying, what is a foul?
This is a beautiful move by Steve Francis, and it looks like Cook right there is in the restricted area.
To O'Neal, Houston plus 11. They led by 15 at the break.
Maurice Taylor has no chance against Shaquille O'Neal.
Slava Medvedenko is the defensive assignment for Yao. 10 to shoot for LA.
Well, there's your answer. Keep Yao on the floor. Just put him on a lesser opponent.
Taylor helped knock it away. It's out of bounds off LA. Houston ball.
When Shaq gets the ball, they're just collapsing. They're swarming.
He either needs to pass the ball or go quicker, because right now the little guys are slashing and hacking down low, coming up with it time and time again.
On the switch, Bryant picks up Francis. 4 to shoot. Again, this is a typical Rockets possession. Second half, games that they struggle. Jim Jackson missed the 3. Rebound to O'Neal.
Shaq got that rebound outside the three-point line.
Slava goes at Yao.
Wisely. Take it to the hoop, try to get his 5th foul, which will change the entire tenor of this game.
O'Neal, count it, with a foul. Shaq on the bench. Yao goes over Brian Cook and extends it to an 11-point edge. 29 for Yao Ming.
He is starting to assert himself. He's dominating this, at least the beginning of the fourth quarter, with 4 early points.
He's just getting better by the minute. Right in front of our eyes. I mean, he came in at 7'6", looked like he's about 7'11" at this point. He's just calling for the ball and saying, I don't care how many guys are on me, I'm just throwing down that little flick jump hook.
Respectfully, it's Brian Cook, who's 6'9", and a rookie who's only playing his 19th game in the league, 20th game in the league.
Respectfully, he's got 29.
I meant that replay.
That replay shot was Papa shot. I mean,
I understand.
And that really underscores the point about Karl Malone and the Lakers suffering because they don't have enough bigs. I mean, you look at Karl Malone now, not only is he a luxury, but he's a necessity for this ball club. They're not going to get it done without him.
That's when it all started to fall apart for Los Angeles, the day Karl got hurt in late December.
Francis free. Steve misses the 3. He just cannot make a shot right now.
I think you keep running right through Shaq in the low post. His ability to pick up fouls on the other team.
Luke Walton back in, draws some D, and tees rush for 3. Stretch.
Foul trouble, a critical element here. Shaq with 3, Yao Ming with 4, the big numbers.
Walton the lob, Shaq couldn't reel it in. And back comes Houston.
Kobe Bryant was begging for that basketball from Kareem Rush, was unable to get it. He's dying for his opportunity to score.
Francis soars and throws it down. And Phil Jackson calls a timeout right away as another alley-oop.
We see Francis run that play beautifully. They do it a lot, much like Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper used to do.
Right to Shaq, forces one in, and he'll have a chance for the 3-point play.
He had 2 errors on that play. Shaq not bumping Steve Francis. And, of course, Kareem Rush outside the lane. But now Shaq again answers. And he's continued to answer here in the fourth quarter. Whenever Houston comes up with a big play, Shaquille O'Neal has kept his team close.
Shaq at the line, 1 for 10. One of his worst free throw shooting performances of the year, obviously, but he knocks that one down to make it a 7-point game.
I had the privilege, Mike, of being in college in the early 70s in Los Angeles when Wilt Chamberlain was the center for the Lakers and Kareem came into the league. And those battles at the Forum, Kareem, Wilt Chamberlain, very reminiscent of what we're seeing right here tonight, Shaq and Yao Ming.
Francis off the out screen. Walton went to get the rebound, and Luke stays with it. So it's Luke, Kareem Rush, Derek Fisher joining Kobe and Shaq. When will Gary Payton get back in the lineup here? 11 points in 30 minutes tonight.
Well, one of the problems that Payton has been complaining about is he has not been finishing the game. Blocked shot.
Goaltend called.
Can't take that ball off the glass.
It's Kobe. Pick and roll Shaq. They cover that. Fisher a 3. Lakers within 2. And Van Gundy takes another timeout.
Houston just with poor decision-making. They just
game track to see what transpired here tonight. Shaq, Yao meeting number 5. O'Neal has had a good half here. His total's now up to 26 points on the night. Yao 25 at the end of the third. 31 points now here on the game to go with his 7 rebounds. Our TMC game track watching these 2 big men. And both were, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but they're not thrilled about the buildup of the individual matchup because basketball is the great team game. But Bill, a point you were making a moment ago, we don't have as many pure centers anymore in the league. So to get pure centers going head-to-head is so rare, it adds to it, plus the profile of O'Neal and Yao.
It's the matchups that built the foundation of this league, and to see these two guys go head-to-head in the presence of Patrick Ewing in the city that gave us Moses Malone and Akeem Olajuwon, and see Shaq and Yao Ming combined for 25 for 34 shooting from the field. That is a brilliant performance by both of them.
No surprise, Shaq leads the league in field goal percentage. Yao is fourth. He's forced to give it up here.
Great screen by Yao Ming.
Knocked Fisher down, but Francis lost the ball. He got it back. 4 to shoot. The pass to Jackson for 3. Shaq gets the rebound. Lakers have a chance to tie or take the lead.
Nice box out by Shaq to get Yao Ming off the glass.
Lakers so disciplined in these situations here. Don't know why they don't bring it in to Shaq.
Kobe fights for the rebound after the miss. It's last touch by Houston.
Yao Ming setting a vicious screen there on Derek Fisher.
It's not a vicious screen. He's just standing there. Derek Fisher ran right into a guy who's
I'm a champion.
stationary as a statue.
I'm a champion for the little people. That was a vicious screen.
Walton hits a 3, and the Lakers lead by 1. It was Luke's jumper with 9 minutes left in the second quarter that gave LA its last lead.
Lakers so poised. They've been down this road thousands of times. Can they play any defense against Maurice Taylor?
Yao, he handled the entry from Francis. 5 to shoot.
The Rockets are discombobulated. Bailed out there.
Fisher picked up the foul with the shot clock running down.
The matchup of Yao Ming trying to play against Luke Walton on that perimeter, the willingness to let it fly when it has not been a good offensive game for Luke Walton.
You have to have some guts to take that shot right now in the heart of the game. And you're not one of the main cogs on the team.
Luke's 9th made three-pointer of the year. Francis tries to respond. He continues to struggle. 4 of 11 from the field. Just 12 points. Kobe hit to Fish. That's 2. Derek missed it. Mobley battles rush. They go down, but Walton is there to keep it alive.
A lot of time on the shot clock.
Kobe shakes and takes and will come to the line and shoot some free throws.
Kobe, when he gives Jim Jackson that move, it's so subtle. He doesn't have to over-fake. It's just a slight little head and shoulder fake, and it's enough to freeze Jim Jackson, just leaves him in his tracks.
Well, Kobe is having...
Lost Bill's microphone for a moment. For the interim, Kobe will come to the line. Lost Bill's microphone for a moment. For the interim, Kobe will come to the line. 3-4-3 here on the night. Of course, as many of you know, if you watch SportsCenter, Kobe was not with the Lakers yesterday. The hearing in Eagle, Colorado, as the situation around his trial will continue. The next hearing is scheduled for March 24th through 25th. On the 24th, the Lakers have a home game against Sacramento. There's also a tentative date on the court calendar, April 26th through 28th, for another hearing. That would be games 4 or 5 of a potential first-round series. And Phil Jackson said that could be very disturbing for the Lakers' cause, obviously, as playoff games are so magnified. Here's Jackson. Connects to make it a 1-point game.
But that broke a 13-0 run by the Los Angeles Lakers as the Rockets have really just fallen apart here.
Now you have Kelvin Cato back in the ball game. It'd be nice to get another alley-oop or so. Change the momentum. The Lakers have just steamrolled the Rockets these last 2 or 3 minutes.
Shaq off the mark. Yao gets the rebound.
And they've gone away. That alley-oop play, like you said, they'll make them solve it.
Well, how about Yao Ming in the low box early in the shot clock?
Jackson uses the screen by Yao to get close and get fouled by Shaq. It will be O'Neal's 4th.
In literally every game between these two teams since Yao Ming showed up, late in the game, there has been a situation where Shaq has had to come and foul hard from the weak side.
But look at the penetration by Jim Jackson. He doesn't go out wide there. Once he turns that corner, he uses his body extremely well to force Shaquille O'Neal to go through his body to get to the ball.
So Jim Jackson comes to the line. Very good shooter at 80%. Just to tie the game at 84. Malcolm Jackson at age 33 playing such important minutes. He's 18th in the league in minutes, even though he's in his 12th season. A very mercurial route. Dallas, New Jersey, Philly, Golden State, Portland, Atlanta, Cleveland, Miami. So good for Sacramento in three-point shooting last year. And an essential part of this Houston team as this season transpired.
But playing those huge minutes are going to take a toll at some point. This is not a young man anymore. Jeff Van Gundy really doesn't have any options at that small forward position.
They come to Kobe, leaving Walton free for another three. And he knocks it down.
Huge shot. He had a man running at him. I believe it was Kelvin Cato. And you have to get the ball up to get the shot over those long arms.
The ball movement for Los Angeles really picking up now.
To Yao, hasn't shot for a while. He has 31 points, spins on O'Neal, got him in the air, and gets to the free throw line.
Nice up fake by Yao Ming.
Five fouls now on Shaquille O'Neal. And they're just calling for the ball for Yao Ming here. Turn and face, spin back, pivot, give him a little pump, an easy play to call.
And Shaq doesn't leave his feet very often, but he's been victim to Yao Ming's turnaround jumpers and hook shots, so he overreacts. He jumps on that fake.
Shaq doesn't have to play much basketball really anymore on the defensive end as people just run away from him.
O'Neal has 5 fouls. Let's go back to the Luke Walton 3. Do that between free throws here. They'll put LA on top by 2. Yao's made them all tonight.
And Shaquille O'Neal 2 for 11 from the free throw line.
Well, there's the difference, but the excellent ball movement gets Luke Walton that shot. You can see the hand, that contest right there just in time to get a mouthful of jumper.
Yao has 33. It is his 3rd best scoring game at 41 in the triple overtime game against Atlanta. 37 at Orlando earlier this year. His high last year was 30.
But considering the circumstances against Shaquille O'Neal, such a big game, wouldn't you say, Bill, that this is the best performance in the history of Eastern civilization?
East meets West. And right now, Shaq going to the line with 5 fouls on Yao Ming.
Yao had no chance here.
Well, who's going to draw it next? Each big man has 5, and it's going to be a huge factor in the game. Which one will force the 6th to eliminate the other one?
And you'd hate to see either one of these guys have to go to the bench with fouls, particularly since both of them picked up fouls on other players.
Well, as they get some moisture off the floor, Stuart Scott will slide over to the SportsCenter desk with Scott Van Pelt. Huge day, the first full day of NFL free agency. The next part of the Sexton Sports Series will look at recruiting and debating the NBA West on SportsCenter coming up after the game. O'Neal, 2 of 11 from the line, 2 of 12. As mentioned earlier, 3 of 15 in Philadelphia. 1 of 9 in Golden State within the last month. 2 of 13. But Medvedenko keeps it alive to Bryant. Tie game at 87 as we approach 2.5 here in the 4th. Nice pass for Medvedenko. Yao slapped it out. Fisher keeps it alive. No reset on the clock, and it's Kobe for 3.
Medvedenko is everywhere.
Yes, he is. They're battling.
Shaq's foot took it away, and the dunk. Timeout called by Houston.
First for the Rockets down the stretch here. 34 total points in the second half. Shaq has 19 by himself as he is slowly but inevitably narrowing that gap there. Something's got to start turning around for the Rockets right now.
Houston 1 field goal in the last 5.5 minutes. Cuttino Mobley gets close. Can't get the 2. Rebound is kept alive by Houston. Lakers screaming that Mobley was out of bounds. Francis to Yao.
Yao's got to be aggressive. Take that shot again.
3 seconds on Kelvin Cato.
Francis at Medvedenko. Got it to go. Well, if the Lakers are upset about that call, it's even. Because they got a break on the other end. All tied at 89. 100 seconds left in regulation. Payton back in the game. Walton on the bench. Here's Gary, not really in the flow the last few minutes. He'll have to take a big three and make a big three.
He's a gamer.
That's what he complained about, that he wasn't in the game late in the fourth to get in the stretch, to get warm to take a big shot.
And that's Peyton's first basket since the first quarter.
Yao missed the hook, out of bounds off L.A. And Phil Jackson wanted over the back.
Phil can't complain. They're letting him play because Shaq fouled Yao Ming several times before Yao even got that shot up.
That ball appeared to bounce right on the line. Then Steve Francis right back down the lane, just jumping in the face of Medvedenko.
And GP stepping outside, taking a huge shot.
Phil.
Sean Elliott might have something to say about that gold standard since the Spurs have won 2 championships in the last 5 years.
And the Lakers have won.
The Lakers have won 3. I mean, you know, most people would agree they're the gold standard with all the talent that they've had and the great coaching. But I'm not sure if they can get it done this year. I'd like to see it.
I want to hear that discussion about the West and the NBA because it's very interesting, and this is an example. Houston's the 7th seed in the West right now. Lakers by 1. Walton takes it. Couldn't find anybody to pass as he got in the air. Mobley comes away with the turnover. Jim Jackson for 2. Houston takes the lead.
Timeout, Lakers.
Put on the line, clearly. Yeah. 2 points. I corrected them there.
The veteran NBA official working his 2006 game all in a row. Hasn't missed one. Doesn't miss that call either.
You can see the feet clearly on the line, just barely. Jim Jackson with the long 2.
39.2, no fouls to give.
Jim Jackson, 6 points for Van Gundy's Rockets in the last 3.5 minutes, really alleviating a serious offensive drought for the Rockets.
Walton, Brian O'Neal, Fisher, and Payton, the 5 on the floor for L.A. They could go 2 for 1. Kobe up top, making! And the Lakers retake the lead. Houston calls for time.
Wowee.
Okay, thank you to those guys. Now they have to do what you need to do to get in the playoffs and get by in the playoffs. Execute down the stretch in the half court. Houston trailing by 1. They try to get it to Yao. He's well away from the hoop on Shaq. Gets it to Francis. Tough catch. Back to Yao. He's got the range. He missed the shot. And the rebound unable to be squeezed by Francis, who's called for the loose ball foul.
Steve Francis had that rebound. He had it corralled, but he was trying to do something with the ball before he actually had it.
Shaq stepping out. One thing he rarely does that far, but the circumstances dictating, and Derek Fisher willing to put his body in harm's way.
Important here, Jeff Van Gundy's pulled the Rockets over. They have no timeouts remaining. So they're going to have to go the length of the floor. So it's a good thing that L.A. got the rebound to the miss with time left on the clock for Jeff, because they won't be able to advance it to midcourt.
But Derek Fisher is a great free throw shooter on the road, under pressure.
79% shooter now in his 8th year in the league. In his first 7 years, part of the 3 Laker championships.
I tell you what, I'm impressed, Bill, because you called it. You told me about 6 minutes left in this ball game. Lakers were down 8 or so, and you told me in the break that the Lakers were going to win this ball game, and I just thought you had lost your mind. Like I have lots of times tonight.
Devin George, who has not played yet tonight, he was starting with the 4 Hall of Famers. He went from the 5th Beatle to a guy who's like 5th on American Idol right now. Finally gets in here for Luke Walton for defensive purposes. Big shot here. The Lakers lead by 3. It must be a Houston 3 to tie it. No timeouts. Look for Jim Jackson or Mobley off screens. Here's Francis. He's looking. He gets it to Mobley. He's going to have to hoist a 3. In and out, and the Lakers win in Houston. Yao's numbers better. Shaq's team heads back to L.A. with another victory. They're 7th in their last 9.
Shaquille O'Neal chasing everybody down on the perimeter. Almost a situation where you want to grab and foul. This is the 5th best three-point shooter in the entire league. The injury in the first half really affected Cuttino Mobley's ability to deliver points in the second.
Here's Jim with Kobe Bryant.
18 points for Kobe Bryant. Kobe, 7 for 19. How did you have the guts and the confidence to put up the game-winning shot?
You know, it was just a matter of time. And my shot was there. It was just falling a little short. But I had all the confidence in the world that I was going to knock down the shot.